Chicago police firing 96 shots in 41 seconds at one man in a deadly traffic stop last month that killed 26-year-old Dexter Reed. Newly released body cam video shows what led to this all. Police say they pulled Reed over for not wearing a seatbelt. When officers approached his SUV, the situation quickly escalated. CNN's Omar Jimenez spoke exclusively to the family of Dexter Reed and has their reaction to seeing the body camera video that was just released a few hours ago.
What was your reaction to seeing that video?
It was terrifying.
For Dexter Reed's sister, his mother.
Oh, Lord Jesus, please help me.
And his entire family. What played out on newly released body camera video is nothing but pain.
They shot him down like an animal. Why did they shoot him them many times? He's already dead. Why you study shooting him like that? They killed my son and they killed me too.
March 21st, 2024. Chicago police are initiating a traffic stop on a driver reportedly for not wearing a seatbelt, according to the Civilian Office of Police Accountability. A traffic stop being conducted by 5 tactical officers.
Roll the window down. What are you doing?
Roll this one down.
Roll that one down too. Hey, don't roll the window up. Don't roll the window up.
Okay.
Do not roll the window up. Unlock the doors now.
The temperature quickly escalates. One officer puts what appears to be his gun on the windshield. Reed then fires first, hitting an officer in the forearm, according to the initial investigation. Then, chaos.
Hey! It's St. Louis gun! Shots fired! Shots fired! Hey, shots fired! Pick it up!
Reed goes down. Then, 3 final gunshots, 96 in total, according to investigators. A gun was later recovered from the front seat of Reed's car. Portia Banks had just been on the phone with her brother in the minutes before it all happened. Then, she turned on a police scanner at her shop.
I'm listening to the police talking, like saying shots fired, but I can hear all the shots on the scanner. Like I can hear so many shots, so many shots, so many shots. But didn't know that it was my brother. So then to know later on that night that them shots that I heard and then the ambulance going past my shop was my brother was the most heartbreaking thing that I could have ever felt in my life.
One of the family's attorneys argues this never should have happened in the first place.
There was a weapon recovered in his car. However, it started with an unconstitutional, pretextual, and unnecessary stop of Dexter Reed. And that's what precipitated the entire incident.
And questions remain over why tactical officers initiated a traffic stop for a supposed seatbelt violation. As part of a brief statement, Chicago police says this incident is still under investigation, but the stop is where it all began.
If you don't stop my nephew, he'll be alive today.
Reed's uncle sitting alongside his father.
When this happened to my nephew, I hope the police can understand that this is the same pain that they feel when an officer is killed in the line of duty.
It's a pain that manifests in memories and pain that manifests in despair.
They took my son away from me. He ain't got that no more. I don't know what I'm gonna do without him. And I just wish that I could talk to him one more time. But to see him gunned down, I never ever thought that it'd be him. I never thought that it'd be him. I never thought that it would be him.
And just to hear the amount of gunshots in that video is difficult for anyone to hear, much less the family, which is a lot of what we talked about there. Obviously, from the inside, it is a pain that a family is dealing with. From the outside, initial investigation does show that Dexter Reed did fire first. And so the response from police in the initial stages is less of what's in question here. It's more about why this stop happened and why the amount of shots continued in the way that they did, Jake.
Joining us now to discuss the case is Andrea Kirsten. She's the Chief Administrator for the Civilian Office of Police Accountability. Thanks for joining us. What was your reaction when you first watched the footage that was released to the public today?
First, thanks for having me, Jake. You know, a big part of our job at the Civilian Office of Police Accountability is to investigate each and every police shooting that occurs here in the city of Chicago. So unfortunately, body-worn camera footage and footage of these tragic outcomes is a routine part of the work that we do here at COPA. But certainly footage like this, you know, I don't think there's anyone that can watch it and not be impacted by it, but that can't prevent us from conducting an unbiased and fair investigation into everything that occurred.
So the officers say they stopped Reed because he was not wearing a seatbelt. In the video, it looks like Reed's windows are tinted. Now, this is just from video. I'm not investigating the case. Would the officers have been able to tell whether he was wearing a seatbelt through those windows?
Every time we look at a shooting, we're looking at the totality of the circumstances. So that would include any of the interactions that led to officers, you know, interacting with Dexter Reed. And so we will specifically in this investigation be looking at what led to and precipitated the traffic stop in all facets, yes.
So your office says, after reviewing preliminary evidence, that it appears that Dexter Reed fired first. That obviously would be a very significant finding. Was that determination made by reviewing the video and audio that your office released today and slowing it down and studying it? How did you reach that conclusion?
Correct. The evidence we have at this time, obviously Dexter Reed, having been fatally shot, cannot provide his version of events. And so the information that we have at this time is largely focused on interviews from officers as well as obviously the audio and video footage. However, I just, you know, that moment is very important in this investigation, but as are every single aspect of the interaction, starting from the traffic stop all the way through the conclusion of the 96.
So, Cisco, there she is. Okay. Today you said that preliminary evidence confirms that the 4 officers returned fire approximately 96 times over a period of 41 seconds. Would that be considered excessive force? Kirsten, can you hear me?
I can, yes.
Would that be considered excessive force, the 96 times in 41 seconds?
Every time an officer uses force under CPD policy, that use of deadly force has to be necessary and proportional and objectively reasonable. So that's exactly what we will be determining in the course of our administrative investigation into this use of force.